Hello there, this is my Ultimate Iron Man, Sir Bankless, and today I want to talk about RuneLite plugins. But not just any ordinary plugin or some of the popular plugins that you're aware of, like 117HD, maybe Menu Entry Swapper, etc. I wanted to talk about some cool and immersive plugins that you may not know about. For example, did you know that there is a plugin that animates certain item icons in the game, such as like magic logs, fire cape in your inventory? It looks super cool. It's just adds a little subtle touch that is super fun for the game. That one's called Animated Icons. Alright, so the next plugin I wanted to cover is called Chat Sounds. So essentially what this plugin does is make a kind of like ping notification whenever someone messages you or a message pops up in any of these chat channels that you set. So for example, me on my Ultimate Iron Man, I'm always kind of like doing some sort of activity and watching a video, or maybe I'm just really focused, and so when I get a private message like this, it gives me a little ping. Hey yo, you got any of that bag space, bro? I've got a bit to spare right now. Okay, so this next plugin is super simple, yet effective. It's called Click Minimap Orbs. So with the plugin off, if I were to click my health bar, or my health orb, I guess you would say, my character starts running in that direction. If I have this on now, no matter how much I spam my mouse, I cannot click through this orb. So it's just a little subtle thing that kind of improves the UI. Alright, so now I'm running through the Warriors Guild, which we all love and know for its simple consumables for Iron Man accounts. For example, Lidio, he has, some potatoes, some stew, really great food source, and Lily has a plethora of potions. So, while I'm here, I'm just gonna buy these, some food, and then I'm gonna buy a couple potions from Lily, and I'll show you what our next plugin does. So let's say I'm just buying a bunch of stuff. Now, I'm going to kill some monsters and whatnot. What this next plugin is called Consumable Cooldowns. So, in other games or MMOs, you might have like, spell cooldowns or cooldowns on when you can consume a certain food item, if you will. And we don't really have that in RuneScape. So this, once again, Consumable Cooldowns plugin makes it so that when you eat food, it has a little cooldown on the item. So just a good visual indicator of when you can eat or drink a potion next. And it also has some customization, so you can tailor it to your liking. And also, it factors for combo eats, which is so cool. So, you can do triple eats, double eats, etc. with brews or restores, and it will like if I just eat the food, it still shows that I can drink a potion. So super cool plugin. I recently picked it up and I love it. All right, so next in the list are kind of two plugins combined to get a certain effect. The first one is Corner Tile Indicators. So this plugin essentially is Highlight True Tile. However, it's just the corners of the tile. Now, I don't have it set to that currently for displaying, but what feature I do like from this plugin is, let me find it. It is Fade Out. So right now, if I were to click, it shows my destination, or my true tile, and when my character gets to the tile, it fades away. So, for me, we're someone who wants to kind of keep the aesthetics of the game really simple and minimalistic. It's super cool to be able to just click on, a tile and still see my true tile, but it's very subtle. And so, when I'm doing bossing or specific raid content, I can still see, essentially where I am, but it's not super intrusive. And I love that. So the fade out, and then the second part of this next plugin here is the improved tile indicators. So pretty much the only thing that I use from this is if I mark tiles, it renders the character above tiles. Which, if I'm like doing a bunch of stuff here and I got a bunch of tiles, it just looks nice that the tiles are below you. So that is the next recommendation in my list. These two plugins combined. One plugin that has taken my, browser gaming experience with old school RuneScape and turned it into feeling like a full-fledged kind of application or game that I boot up on my computer is the Fullscreen plugin. This plugin, what it does is, you can either toggle it with this button in the bottom right or press a hotkey and it will essentially make the game a full screen kind of mode, if you will. It deletes the bottom Windows bar. So I use this anytime I'm like doing bossing or really just focusing on the game and not doing kind of like AFK activities. All right, so I thought it would be cool to come to the bottom of the Varrock West Bank, just because there's tons of stuff on the ground over here. But this next group of plugins really enhances the feel of the game for me. We all know and love the ground items plugin, and you can set kind of the values of different tiers of rarity of items. But the plugin that I recommend you get that synergizes well with this is called Ground Item Sounds. So it changes, or it plays a sound when you get an item drop, or when you drop something that has a certain tier of value, and it has a different sound effect for each tier. So for example, let me pull all this stuff off. I will get a couple tiers of items here, and I will show you when I drop this. Can you hear that sound it plays? I'll drop a next tier up. Oh, it's getting a little bit louder. Oh, big drops. And let's drop the crystal body. And also loot beams. We all know those are cool. But yeah, I really like the ground items sounds plugin. It just really kind of makes it like a super juicy or fun when you get a drop that's really rare or expensive. Now another plugin that kind of goes with those two is, let me pull it up, called ItemRarity. At first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but you can once again set the tiers of value, and this item or this plugin will highlight all the items in your inventory and equipment with a certain value, and you can set it to be just like GE or high value. I don't know, I just want to kind of give a nod to like other MMOs such as like World of Warcraft, where they have different levels like green, blue, purple, in terms of their rarity, if you will. And so I really have enjoyed this one. All right, so have you ever done Mahogany Homes and thought, oh, speaking of this guy, he's doing Mahogany Homes. Speaking of Mahogany Homes, have you ever done Mahogany Homes and wondered why, when you do a contract and you leave the house, is everything already busted or destroyed? This plugin, Home Enforcer, stops your Mahogany Homes from shifting into other realities. So what that means is when you build something and fix it for them, it'll stay that way when you leave the house until you get another contract with this specific house in mind. So just a really good immersive, quote unquote, plugin. And then I will just make this into kind of a two-part here. I'll teleport to my house quick. Let me go. What this next plugin is called, or wow, words. This next plugin is called Home Improvement. What that does is it makes it so any sort of furniture item in your house, when you're not in build mode, it doesn't have the build or remove option, which always kind of annoyed me. Because if like I'm in my home and I'm not building, I don't want to see that, So it's just a really kind of quality of life feature that I've really enjoyed. All right, so here's another one of those plugins that really just kind of is like chef's kiss, enhances your feel of the game when you're playing. So this plugin is called Jingle Jingle. What it does is it takes certain sound effects from around the game and makes it so that when you complete different diary tasks, farming contracts, etc., it will play a sound effect. So like we can see here, if we complete a task in the Ardoin diary, it uses a sound effect called Dice Win. I'm guessing that's from like, whatever that Rune, what's the Rune board game? Someone in the comments let me know. Is it Rune? I can't think of it, but you get the point. So also when you complete a desert diary, it gives you like the agility pyramid jingle. So for example, I have a task to do on this hard, which is craft some nature runes. So I'm gonna try to craft them and see if we can get that jingle so I can show you. So here I'm at the nature altar. All right, so yeah, we complete our hard task, and you heard that right here it played I think complete jingle, task jingle, yeah, the gnome ball goal. So it's just kind of a cool little plugin that I really enjoy. So this next plugin is one that I recently picked up and I'm still kind of tweaking, but one thing that's kind of important for me is, you know, to keep things minimal, aesthetic, and, you know, keep me ingrained in the immersive experience here with RuneScape. And the plugin is called Monster HP Percentage. So I'm here with some somewhat friendly hill giants right now, but when I attack one, you can see there is a number displayed above its head. That is its current health. You know, I know a lot of people use the plugin called Opponent Information. So when I attack it, it'll have a little kind of bar with its health. You know, I used to use that for the longest time, but I really like this Monster HP plugin because it just keeps my eyes focused on what I'm actually doing instead of looking away at certain health bars. Yeah, I really enjoy this simple plugin. You can kind of modify it to your liking. It's not perfect, like there's some places where I think the health number shouldn't be displayed. But for the most part, it's very tweakable. You can just do like health percentage. You could do like, you know, this numeric health value. Super cool plugin, really love it. Keeps me super engaged in the game experience. All right, so here I am in Port Sarim, and you might be asking me, why am I in Port Sarim? Clearly it's because of Sea Shanty 2 and my next few plugins. So I think most people use the music plugin, which allows the ability to kind of toggle, you know, different, essentially filters on your music list, and also the ability to search. But I'm gonna add another plugin, which is called Music Favorites. Super simple. All it does is gives you the ability to view favorite tracks. So for example, if I wanted to add Sea Shanty 2 here, which, where are we at? Sea Shanty 2. I right click and I can add it to favorites. Then when I filter by favorites, it'll show those songs. So I have like this one on here so far. What is this one? Oh, this is like the classic tutorial island song. So yeah, super cool plugin. I love it. Wow, time must have flown since I was listening to this newbie melody. As you can see, my character is getting a little sleepy. He's resting. That leads me to my next plugin, which is the resting plugin. This plugin makes it so that, you know, after a certain amount of time, it will, your character will kind of play a resting animation that you can set to your liking. So, you know, after a certain amount of time, your character will transition into this animation state. So I just think it's a really subtle touch, like if you're AFK. Now other players can't see this, but it's just for you. I really like that, you know, if I've been kind of sitting for too long, my character kind of falls asleep, you know, when he's standing there. All right, so I went and bought a DDS specifically to show you this next plugin, which is called Spec Dialogue. So you can see that when I spec with Dragon Dagger, it has a kind of a dialogue above it, like some other special attack weapons. And you can customize it to your liking. And also, you can do it pretty much for any weapon that has a special attack. So, for example, I could change this measure twice. I'm gonna copy that to get wrecked, noob. There we go. So now when I attack with the dagger, It just like makes it super fun, so you can customize it and really have a good time with special attack weapons. I'm here in the Mist Guild basement to show you the next plugin that I recommend. Let me just find a dragon here, shoot him, and you'll see a tile pops up around the dragon's true tile, and that's from the plugin, coincidentally, Target True Tile. One thing when I'm watching OSRS content creators that kind of bugged me is, you know, just seeing like the sheer amount of squares and clutter on the screen. And so this plugin kind of eliminates that by making it so that it only shows you their true tile when you either A, are attacking them, or you hover over the monster. And also it shows you the southwest corner of the mob, which is typically very important to know. So you'll see if I shoot him, you know, it pops up again. There's a lot of customization you can do with this. You can allow like multiple targets. You can change the time that it disappears, the styling, how you want it exactly. And also, another thing that's really cool is it renders the tile underneath the mob as well. So this is a plugin that I'm going to experiment more with once I finish preparing for the Inferno. For my next two plugins that I'm going to show you, I need to be in my player-owned house. So let me run over to the spirit tree here. And you'll notice when I click on the spirit tree, instead of a list of teleport locations, I have this cool little map. And that's from the Teleport Maps plugin. So not only does it do spirit trees, it does wilderness obelisks, and I believe Xeric Talisman teleports. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, and also it does in Koran, it has like the wherever you go in the cart and you go in the mine, it has like all the teleport locations around Koran. So that's pretty cool. And then for the second plugin, which is called Nexus Menu Map, instead of a list of teleports, which I sometimes like to use because it's quick, but if you want to have more fun with it, there is a map where you can click on each kind of region, for example, Misthalin, and it will show you all of the teleports in that region that you have. And you can click on one and it will teleport you to that location. So, you know, after a while of looking at just kind of lists of teleports, it makes it kind of a little bit more aesthetic and practical to just click on where you want to go. The next plugin on this list, no joke, is probably one of my favorites from this entire list. It is arguably the most simple plugin on the list, but it is going to save you so much headache, and it is just so practical. This plugin is called Tool Required. So currently I have an axe in my inventory. Oh, an imp. Let's catch it. Let's see what happens. Oh, nice, Earth TR. Okay, back to business. Let's see here. So I currently have an axe in my inventory. You know, right now I can chop these oak trees. You know, and if I'm like trying to click over here, I might accidentally click on the tree. I don't want to do that. So like if I just drop this dragon axe here, now, fun sound effect. Now you'll see if I hover my mouse over all these trees, there is no option to cut it. So this app extends for trees and like ores, like ore spots in the world. So like you'll never misclick on a tree again. It's such a good quality of life plugin. Definitely just instant download this. If you don't have it, you won't regret it. So this last plugin recommendation that I have is kind of like a two-part. Again, I'm kind of talking about the resource pack plugin. But not only that, I want to give a big shout out to one of the specific skins on here. Since I know you already probably use the resource pack hub, I wanted to give a shout out to, if I scroll to the bottom, Drunken Monk for making this Mystic resource pack skin. This is my favorite, hands down, out of all the resource packs. I mean, I have a couple others that I would use from time to time, but I haven't changed since I went to this Mystic resource pack. It he or she has overhauled everything. Every little icon is remade. If I look at all the skills, they all look different. You know, all the prayers look so cool, and when you flick it, you know, it's got a yellow circle there. That's really cool. Even redid the newer prayers that just came out. All the spells are completely unique. You know, it really has freshened up just the UI and making it, you know, something completely different and enjoyable. So I just want to give a big shout out to Drunken Monk for making this mystic resource pack. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the plugins that I went over today. I hope that you at least found one or even a couple, or maybe all of the plugins helpful, or you didn't know about them, and you can implement them in your RuneScape play. So if you have any questions, you have any plugins that you enjoy, put those in the comments below. Also, like I said, I just kind of started making these RuneScape videos, so feel free to drop a like, subscribe. I suppose all the cliche things that YouTubers should say, and I will see you in my next video. Sir Bankless is out.